I believe we are live now. Alright, what's going on, everybody? ncaa 25 is going to be coming out in a month. Pretty much. Um, July 15th and 19th, I believe, are the pre-order dates or whatever it is. I plan to pre-order the game next week, or this week, coming Friday. But yeah, I'm gonna go through the teams that I plan to perhaps do a Dynasty with. I'm hoping Team Builder, I think Team Builder, or Create a Team, is gonna be a part of it. I'm hoping, or I think it is. I believe they said it was. I don't know. But today, how did my thing stop? Oh, damn it. I think. Okay. I did it again. Hopefully, I don't hit that button again. We're gonna go to the first team that I'm not sure I'm gonna do a Dynasty with. We're gonna go with Rutgers. Now, Rutgers is the bottom team in the Big Ten. You can make an argument on maybe why I should. They really haven't done shit since moving to the Big Ten. They're coming off a 7-win season and a bowl game win, but they really haven't done squat in the Big Ten, and they really didn't do squat in the American or the Big East either. So they're a bottom level team. I could do a Dynasty with them at some point and make them a top team, and maybe I will, but I don't think Rutgers is going to be my number one pick for my Dynasty. But I won't roll them out completely. Virginia Tech, you know, there's a chance they do move higher on the list on a team that I do play with and make a Dynasty with, because they've been kind of crap lately. They had that 10-win season in 2016. But they're kind of a bottom to mid-level team in the ACC. So they could move higher on my list. I'm just not really feeling Virginia Tech as a team myself. But if their roster is bad and they need a lot of help, there's a good chance they move high on my list. We're going to go with Vanderbilt as the third team that would need to move higher on my list. They're the laughing stock of the SEC. Yeah, they're just bad. They don't belong in the SEC, and they never really have. You could make the same argument with Vandy as Rutgers, and I think I would put Vandy over Rutgers as the second or third Dynasty team I would pick to play with, but they're not gonna be my number one pick. There is a good chance they will be, but it's gonna take quite a bit of convincing for me to pick Vandy and build them up right away. Gonna go over to Boise State. I mean, if Boise State was in a better conference outside of the Mountain Conference, they would be pretty high on my list. reason why they're low on my list is, I mean, they're not a terrible, awful team. They're a pretty successful team, but they're in an easy conference. I could move them out of the Mountain West or the Mountain Conference after year one, or to start the Dynasty. But with the Pac-12 not really a thing, where would I move them? Into the Big 12? I think they have enough teams. I would love to play on that Boise State field. And I would love to make Boise State the most dominant college program in history. But I don't think they're going to be my number one pick either. Again, their roster could tell me something completely different. Now we're gonna go to Texas A&M. Now Texas A&M, they've been mid the last couple years. Only 7 wins a year ago, you know. There was a lot of hype around Texas A&M not that long ago, and they've just kind of died off again. And they really haven't been good since 2012. They just haven't really struck fear into many teams since then. I mean, they've had some good years. They had some good teams, but they just haven't been able to put it together. And Texas A&M would be a fun team to use, but they're not going to be, I don't know if they're going to be high on my list. There's a good chance, again, depending on that roster, they do jump up there, but the same reason on Virginia Tech is I'm just not really feeling Texas A&M as a dynasty. We're going to go to Missouri next. Now, I really was considering Missouri as my number one team heading into NCAA 25, but they're coming off a 11-win season in real life and a big Cotton Bowl win. I mean, the years prior to it, they've been mid to bad. I think I still will consider Missouri as a team that I can play with, because I didn't play with them on NCAA 14. They were one of the teams I did not do. And I think Missouri would be a lot of fun. Then let's take a look at Wake Forest. I think if I were to go in to the ACC, Wake Forest would definitely be a team I would have to consider as my dynasty. I didn't play with them on NCAA 14 either. Another one of the teams I didn't do. You know, they had an 8-5 win in 2022, a good 2021 year. They're very up and down is Wake Forest. They're coming off a bad year. I think Wake Forest could be a team that jumps higher to my list on if I want to be in the ACC. And I think they would be a fun team to use. Now we go to the Big 12, and we're going to go take a look at the Baylor Bears, who kind of fallen off in the recent years. They're coming off a terrible year last year. I mean, 2021, they had that 12-win season. 2019, last year under Matt Rule, which he's not a coach at Nebraska. I mean, Baylor is another team like Wake Forest where they're just kind of up and down, kind of mid. I think Baylor would be a solid option in the Big 12. There's more teams in the Big 12 now. I think Baylor would be a fun team in the Big 12 to play with. And they weren't a team I played with on 14 either. Back to Auburn. And back to the SEC. Now Auburn, they went from a team that you considered a top team in the SEC to becoming a mid team in the SEC. Auburn would definitely be one of the teams I would want to play with in NCAA 25. Now to the Big Ten. Let's go to Nebraska. Nebraska is a team I'm really considering as well. They've been bad for quite a while in the Big Ten. It's been a while since they've had a winning season. And it's been a while since they've won a conference championship. It's been a while since they've been there. It's been a while since Nebraska had a winning culture. I think Nebraska could be the front runner for my next dynasty. Let's go to Virginia for the ACC. Now, before I was a content creator, I did play with Virginia, and I made them a powerhouse in the ACC. And they're another team that's just been bad the last couple years. A lot of off the field issues have happened on their campus, and I do think it could be time for a new culture change. And I think Virginia would be a team I would love to play with on NCAA 25 in the ACC. Final SEC team I will consider is the Arkansas Razorbacks. Now, I believe they lost their quarterback in the transfer portal. KJ Jefferson, I think his name was. They're coming off a pretty bad year. They're just kind of mid in the SEC. Arkansas would be a team, I think one of the top teams I would want to consider for a dynasty as well. I think they're another team that's ready for a new culture. And I think I could make them a powerhouse. And the final team I'm considering for NCAA 25, Michigan State. Now, Michigan State is another team that's kind of been up and down, kind of mid. Yeah. I thought they were actually turning things around recently, and then they had the last 2 years happen. And their head coach getting fired for reasons. So now they kind of have to set a new culture and see if they can turn it around. I think Michigan State is another team that would be a lot of fun for me to use and turn that culture around and turn them into a powerhouse. So those have been my top teams that I want to use for NCAA 25. If you feel like I should consider somebody else, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see y'all